Tonight on Husky Update, the Boston Rodeo comes to town, the sights, the sounds, and why it's drawing so much attention.
Also tonight, changes on campus. From the cancellation of language dialogues to new questions about NU votes, we'll explain what's shifting for students.
And live from Matthews Arena, the women's hockey season opener, the crowd, the energy, and what to watch as the Huskies hit the ice.
The stories that matter most on campus and beyond. The Husky Update starts right now.
Good evening, I'm Elizabeth Chalmers.
And I'm Lawrence Brown.
And welcome to the Husky Update, your source for broadcast coverage here at Northeastern and around the world.
Swifties, it's October 3rd, and yes, it's Mean Girls Day, but it's also the release of Taylor Swift's 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl. And reviews seem to be mixed so far. What did you think?
I thought it was a pretty decent album. My favorite song was Wish List, and I got to listen to it last night, but it was pretty okay.
I like The Life of a Showgirl. I think Taylor Swift and Sabrina Carpenter do a good partnership there. I'm not a Swiftie myself, but I have to say I'm not disappointed or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's got some potential. It could grow on me.
Yeah, 100%. All right, now to tonight's headlines, and we begin with the breaking news right here in our studio. One of our cameras has been stolen from Shillman Hall.
NUTV confirmed that it happened at some point within the last week, and that some students had to be questioned about the robbery at the Northeastern Police Department. Not much is known about who was involved, but if you saw anything, you were asked to call police.
Now we go to Northeastern's women's hockey season opener taking place right now at Matthews Arena.
We are keeping track of it. It is just in the final few moments here. NUTV's own Cassandra Joyce is live outside of Matthews Arena with updates. Cassie, how's it going?
The game has been full of back and forth action tonight between the RIT Tigers and our Huskies. Northeastern is currently leading 3-2 in the third period. RIT took an early 2-1 lead over Northeastern in the first period, before in the second period, freshman defender Ella Lloyd scored the equalizer with 18 minutes remaining in the period. Eloise Caron, our sophomore forward, scored a goal 4 minutes in. After winning the Beanpot last year, but falling to BU in the Hockey East Championship, the Huskies are looking to go all the way in their last season at Matthews. With strong additions like freshman forward striker Zablocki and defender Alessia Beckler, Northeastern is set up for success. Live from Matthews Arena, Cassandra Joyce, NUTV News.
Well, Cassie, it sounds like things are heating up there. Now, as you may know, it's been announced that this season will be the last for the historic Matthews Arena. NUTV News correspondents Brianna Adele and Selena Budd sat down with the arena's go-to guy, a longtime facilities worker.
Hi, my name is Bill Smith. Actually, I go by the name of Smitty, so if you said Bill Smith, nobody would know who I am. They know me as Smitty, and the athletic facilities supervisor. I've been at Matthews about 30 years. I supervise all the guys who work here and take care of all the facilities on campus. I love driving the Zamboni, everybody does. I've seen this facility change a lot. Matthews Arena is the only facility I go to. I've been here for 30 years. My children were not allowed to play hockey because I spend so much time here. I mean, I love Matthews Arena. It's historic, it's fantastic. Like I say, I walk through that door and I get awe. Well, you do know Matthews Arena is the oldest multi-purpose rink in the world. Okay, that means that we don't just do ice, we do other events. So we were built in 1910. So that's 2 years older than Fenway Park. December 15th is our dead date. That will be it. There's a lot I'll miss about Matthews Arena. But what I will miss the most, and people always laugh at that, I miss I'm the go-to guy. I can walk into this door and know if there's anything wrong in my facility. I will miss that, because I'll be the old guy who doesn't know what's going on anymore when they take over a new facility. You never erase history. Everybody will still remember Matthews Arena. I don't even know what they're going to name the place. I'm hoping Bill Smith Memorial Arena, but yeah, it's not going to be the same.
The Red Sox made it into the playoffs, but their time there was cut short last night after the Yankees beat the Sox in Game 3 of the AL Wildcard Series. What a disappointing loss there. All 3 games were played at Yankee Stadium. Now, despite that loss, Northeastern still has something to celebrate. Alum Cam Schlittler, who pitched for the Huskies from 2020 to 2022, made MLB history last night with the Yankees. He pitched 8 out of 9 innings, leading them to victory over the Red Sox. He struck out 12 batters, the most ever by a Yankees pitcher in a postseason debut. Schlittler led to houses divided last night as fans from right here in Massachusetts were supporting the Yankees.
It has been revealed to NUTV News that a significant portion of Northeastern Dialogue of Civilizations programs for this upcoming summer will be canceled. NUTV's Andrew Longo explains the impact in this week's Digging Deeper investigation.
Given year, Northeastern offers around 80 Dialogue of Civilization programs to students, sending them around the world on subject-specific excursions. But this year, that number is set to drop, as NUTV News has learned that around 40% of these programs will be canceled, hitting specific areas of study especially hard.
And I got that actually when we hiked the glacier. There was like a little gift shop.
Second year Anthony O'Brien's room is decorated with souvenirs.
This is a sticker I got. It says Buenos Aires. It's a Patagonia sticker, like from the actual company Patagonia.
All of them from his time on Dialogue in Argentina this summer.
It was really cool to see the culture and experience a different culture. And so we learned a lot about their traditions and the different types of things that they do in terms of food, dance. We took a tango class, so I learned how to dance tango.
He's a passionate Spanish language student, and nothing teaches language skills better than being fully immersed.
We only talked in Spanish with the locals, with the professors, with the tour guide, and so it was just literally talking in Spanish every single day for a month straight. And so when I came back, I had spoken the best Spanish ever in my life.
But now NUTV News has learned from professors that around 40% of dialogues for next summer have been canceled. 9 of them language and culture dialogues, which an anonymous language dialogue professor told me, quote, has created difficulties.
The fact that we have so many people taking Spanish classes and they can't have that opportunity to really improve their fluency, I think it's going to be a real detriment in the future.
We reached out to Northeastern as to why these programs were canceled. They failed to provide a response.
A lot of people rely on the dialogues at Northeastern to be able to study abroad, because for a lot of people, they might not have 4 open electives to go take a semester of classes elsewhere.
Anthony planned on going on dialogue in Spain this summer to help fulfill the requirements needed for his Spanish major, but now he'll either have to overload his classes or graduate late to accomplish his goal. At Northeastern, Andrew Longo, NUTV News. If you have something you want us to investigate, you can email the Digging Deeper team at northeasterntv@gmail.com.
Conversation filled the hall.
A campaign targeting professors across the country has begun since the death of Charlie Kirk last month. Kirk's nonprofit Turning Point USA has created a list of upwards of 300 professors who allegedly criticized Kirk or responded insensitively online to his death. With the list featuring 3 professors from Northeastern, some other professors on the list have been fired or received death threats.
Today is the 3rd day of the U.S. government shutdown with no end in sight. The Senate failed to advance plans to extend federal funding today, and the funding lapse will be pushed into at least next week when the Senate adjourns on Monday. Roughly 750,000 federal employees have been furloughed or are working without pay, including TSA agents, Veterans Affairs hospital workers, and air traffic controllers. This week, the Northeastern chapter of the Educational Freedom Project hosted a town hall. This week, the Northeastern Freedom Project hosted a town hall to engage its members and hear their concerns. NUTV's Fresno Swindle attended.
Center this Tuesday as the Education Freedom Project hosted its town hall. Aiming to create a forum for the voices of campus leaders, EFP brought together representatives from 30 student organizations.
I just really was struck. I think even first walking in with, I suppose, how, big it felt that other people shared concerns that I had, and that I was able to be part of just like a project or organization bigger than myself.
Leaders report coming away from the event better informed about shared experiences and university policy.
I also learned a lot about Northeastern, like the way that they structure things that I didn't know before, and getting to talk to different people about it and hear their opinions on it was really exciting and enlightening.
With this project, the EFP continues its goal of fostering a resilient community dedicated to defending freedom in education. Reporting from Fenway Community Center, this is Fresno Swindle, NUTV News.
As of this fall, Northeastern votes will no longer be allowed to offer federal work study to ambassadors of the program per new federal regulation.
I spoke with NU Vote's student coordinator, Savannah Rosano, who is exploring what these changes could mean for the future of the civic organization.
I had a few people withdraw from the program because they could no longer commit if it was no longer a paid position.
The updated documents posted by the United States Department of Education, quote, prohibit FWS funds from being used, among other things, to employ students whose work involves any partisan or nonpartisan political activity. This includes volunteer organizations like NU Votes, who have student ambassadors which often table or give presentations encouraging people to be more civically active.
I believe around 40% of our ambassadors have indicated that they had federal work study funds and that they want to use it. So that's a good chunk of our ambassador population who have kind of been affected by this work.
One of these students is Maureen Jacob, who is eligible for federal work study and planned to work with NU Votes.
It just makes it harder, primarily because finding work study jobs is kind of difficult. It took me like a very long time for me to find one. So I feel like if NU Votes did have federal work study still applicable, it would have just made my life easier.
This weekend, Savannah will meet with an author of the original legislation written during the Biden administration, which originally said, quote, FWS funds may be used for employment by a federal, state, local, or tribal public agency for civic engagement work that is not performed to benefit a particular interest or group. She says they're hoping to put together a federal lawsuit.
I think they're also kind of looking for plaintiffs. They're looking for that data, how many students are really affected, how it's impacting their careers and the opportunities and education.
Despite the recent development, NU Votes will still continue to table and work with their volunteers.
It's definitely not the end of our work. I think we're just really going to persevere and keep pushing through, especially in a local election season.
I'm so excited for everyone. Northeastern celebrated Bid Day, which is when new members receive an invitation to join a sorority.
For everyone to rush home to their houses and meet all the girls that they're going to be with the next few years. Bid Day is such an awesome experience, and you really get to meet all the girls that are going to ultimately form your college experience.
It's just so special to me because I remember when I rushed at Northeastern, I was so scared, and I thought that I was still not going to find my people and worried that I would feel super out of place. And I've met my family, I've met some of my best friends, and I'm so excited for her to experience that too.
Many of these girls, being part of a sorority is such an integral part of their college experience.
To welcome new members into their sorority.
You never know when you can make a life-changing difference. In my hand, I'm holding Narcan, an FDA-approved nasal spray that can reverse opioid overdoses.
Fentanyl is the leading cause of death for Americans 18 to 45.
Naloxone Outreach and Education Initiative trains students on how to use Narcan and what they should do when witnessing an overdose.
We give a full 45-minute presentation where we introduce opioids and how fentanyl has been a main player in the opioid public health crisis. We kind of talk about addiction and what substance use disorder looks like. And then we go into how to recognize an opioid overdose and how to reverse it, with naloxone, which we give out for free at all of our trainings.
While the university's police carry Narcan, Haskell said it's also helpful to equip students, since the Boston campus is blocks away from Mass and Cass, an area where the city has struggled with the opioid crisis. Last year, the Boston Police Commission reported a 38% decrease in opioid overdose mortality with the help of distributing over 23,000 doses of naloxone.
We do have a member that recently used Narcan on someone that was on the street in the Northeastern area, which was crazy, but also kind of made us realize the impact of what we're doing.
Carrying Narcan can save someone's life. Rise Massachusetts, an organization working towards ending the opioid crisis, says that on average, 6 people die each day in Massachusetts due to overdoses. In Boston, I'm Nakia Jean Charles, NUTV News.
It's the end of an era for bargain hunters and
Hamas agreed to release all Israeli hostages in Gaza, dead and alive. This comes after a meeting on Tuesday between Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and President Trump to discuss an agreement regarding his 20-point plan that would provide a supposed end to the war in Gaza. On Wednesday, Trump had a discussion with a Hamas representative from Qatar, giving them 3 to 4 days to agree to the deal. Hamas has indicated that it is unlikely to accept all provisions of the deal, so the process of returning hostages has not yet begun.
A judge recently ruled that the detention of Columbia student Muhammad Khalil, a green card holder in March this year, was illegal. Khalil was detained by ICE for his role in Columbia University students' pro-Palestine protests. The Trump administration claimed that Khalil had expressed support for Hamas that necessitated his deportation. A U.S. District Court ruled on Tuesday that his detention was a violation of his First Amendment rights, and he argued that the detention was a scare tactic to prevent immigrants from participating in speech that President Trump disagrees with. Many international students at schools around the country have been more cautious in publicly sharing political speech criticizing the Trump administration since Khalil's arrest.
Starbucks locations around the country have been closing their doors, including some right here in Massachusetts. The iconic Little Kettle shop near Government Center shut down last weekend, and another shop in Wellesley also shut down last week. The company is expected to spend $1 billion on restructuring in the coming months due to underperformance. Starbucks locations on Boylston Street and here in the Curry Student Center at Northeastern are still remaining open.
Now, Starbucks isn't the only local staple closing its doors. Another well-known brand in Boston is shutting down, this time on Newbury Street after nearly a decade. The 3-story TJ Maxx in Back Bay will close for good this January. Reporter Richie Kohler has more on what this means for Bostonians.
It's the end of an era for bargain hunters in Boston. After less than a decade on Newbury Street, TJ Maxx says it will soon close its flagship store here in Back Bay. And for customers, the news is hitting hard.
Just found out that the store is closing, and honestly I'm pretty devastated because I feel like the collection at this specific TJ Maxx is really good and they have some high quality stuff.
The 3-story location at 360 Newbury opened in 2016, becoming a rare big box retailer on Boston's most famous shopping street. But by January 3rd, it will shut its doors for good, a move that will affect 117 workers and leave a gaping vacancy on the corner of Newbury and Massachusetts Avenue.
I guess I'm wondering why and what will take the place of this location.
For many shoppers, this TJ Maxx was more than just a discount store. It was a destination in a part of the city better known for boutique fashion and high-end retailers. The company says the decision is part of a real estate strategy, pointing customers to other Boston area stores like Downtown Crossing and South Bay. But here on Newbury Street, many worry about what will replace the anchor store.
For now, shoppers have just a few more months to find their deals here before the store officially closes. On Newbury Street, Richie Kohler, NUTV News.
In a trend that's sweeping the country, Boston hosted its very own performative person contest, and NUTV was there to observe all of the pageantry.
I don't know how many people, hopefully a lot, but I don't have that expectation. But I just want everyone to have fun, just be themselves. So obviously we have the Birkenstocks, probably like the Nike socks, like high-knee Nike socks with jorts, probably like a Labubu hanging off, probably like a cropped tee, and then probably like holding matcha, and like probably like an Atomic Habits book.
The competition unfolded over 3 rounds, each designed to showcase the participants' performativeness. Contestants were split into 2 random groups of 6. Each group took the stage to put on a performance showing off their stage presence. After both performances, the audience voted to decide which group delivered the stronger showing with rounds of applause.
This is my first time hosting, and I feel like I was able to host, and Alistair was there, and Oliver was there, and like I kind of got team like people, Leslie, Pali, like they're also able to support us. So I feel like it's pretty cool that I kind of go, yeah. My favorite part is tampons. Like giving them tampons, I was like, I don't even need to go to grocery store. I feel like I could just get it here.
But one performer stood out most of all. Joo-hee Kim is a student at Harvard University.
Well, my friend sent it to me on Instagram, so I was like, this sounds fun. Also, I want to get out of my comfort zone. I was generally nervous in the beginning. I'm a very shy person, so this is a lot out of my comfort zone. But I kind of got the hang of it, especially after my viola performance. I have my own program thing back at home that I started where we fundraise money, like $15,000 every year, and donate it to this place in Guatemala called Jutiapa to build a school. I met so many great people. like honestly, they might be performative and all dressed performatively, but they all have great personalities. So yeah, I love that. Ironically, I love that individuality showing up from everybody.
Finally tonight, for the first time in 89 years, City Hall Plaza hosted the Boston Rodeo, attracting fans from across New England.
NUTV's Cassandra Joyce takes us there.
If I were to tell you that I'm standing in the middle of Boston City Hall Plaza, you probably wouldn't believe me. But it's been transformed for the Boston Rodeo, the first one in almost 100 years. And we're here today to take you through the sights and the sounds. With country music blasting through the speakers, tractors rolling through the dirt, and cowboy hats atop attendees' heads, City Hall Plaza was an uncharted territory. But the spectators were more than ready for everything that came with it.
We saw it online, like a post about it, and we were really excited. Just like this stuff doesn't really come to Boston often, and we're like, yeah, we should go check it out.
I think it's a great experience. This is America, right?
Just outside of the rodeo's entrance, a group of animal rights activists, angry with the event, contrasted the upbeat music and smiles inside. The protesters blew whistles, yelled at those going to the rodeo, and held up signs. But for Noah and Ben, it wasn't a damper on their fun.
I mean, it's Boston, right? There's always gonna be people that hate and love different things. You know, people are here for a good time, and yeah.
Maybe the Bulls like it, I don't know.
The rodeo was a PRCA pro rodeo, meaning those who competed were the best of the best. Melvin Byler, a professional bull rider, thought the rodeo in the middle of the city was a completely different but enhanced experience.
It's definitely amazing. Definitely a lot of people here, but definitely love it. The noise, man, nothing like it. You gotta love it. I actually travel this circuit, the First Frontier, but this is definitely one of the best rodeos they're putting on in the First Frontier this year. So, I mean, next year, y'all come on out and enjoy it for sure.
In addition to the competitive rodeo, musical artists, including Evan Honer, performed. Local vendors sold food, and attendees could even ride a mechanical bull to feel like they were the ones competing. For many, the Boston Rodeo was a dream come true.
But literally, it's been on my bucket list forever. But to be able to do this without leaving the state is unbelievable. And I'm dying to see how there's going to be bulls and horses on the pavement in Boston.
Yeah, that's
so Boston could do anything.
While it may be their first time in the big city, it seems like it won't be their last. From City Hall Plaza, Cassandra Joyce, NUTV News.
Now, it's a wonderful Friday night here in Boston. We just got word that the women's hockey team just won their game against RIT.
Woo! That's the news. The rest is up to you. Be sure to follow our Instagram page and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with us. You can find tonight's stories in full at northeasterntv.com/news. I'm Elizabeth Chalmers.
And I'm Lawrence Brown. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again on Friday, October 17th. Have a great night.